Pakistan to purchase oil from U.S. for first time, sparking outrage over higher costs, ***. In an unprecedented and controversial move, Pakistan is set to make its first-ever purchase of crude oil from the United States, a decision that has ignited a firestorm of criticism across the country. While the government is touting the deal as a significant step towards diversifying its energy sources, leaked details about the transaction reveal that the U.S. oil will be substantially more expensive than the crude Pakistan traditionally imports from its longtime ally, Saudi Arabia. The purchase has led to a fierce public and political debate, with opponents and a significant portion of the public branding the decision as a sign of political subservience rather than economic pragmatism. The initial shipment, a single tanker carrying approximately 2 million barrels of light crude oil, is scheduled to arrive at the port of Karachi by the end of this month. According to sources within Pakistan's Ministry of Energy, the price per barrel is estimated to be at least $4 to $6 higher than the prevailing market rate offered by Saudi Arabia, a key supplier that has historically provided Pakistan with oil on favorable credit terms and deferred payment plans. This significant price differential comes at a time when Pakistan's economy is grappling with a severe balance of payments crisis, crippling inflation, and the need for cheaper energy to spur growth. The decision has been met with immediate and vocal opposition. Political commentators and opposition figures have lambasted the government, accusing it of succumbing to external pressure from Washington and international financial institutions. The sentiment, widely circulated on social media and in local news debates, is summed up by the powerful and poignant phrase, "This is what happens in slavery." Critics argue that a sovereign nation, especially one in dire economic straits, should prioritize its national interest and seek the most affordable energy options available, not enter into disadvantageous trade deals for political reasons. This is not a commercial deal. This is a political transaction masquerading as one, stated Dr. Akbar Ali, a prominent economist known for his independent views. Why would any country, facing an unprecedented economic crisis, purchase a commodity at a higher price when cheaper alternatives are readily available? The only logical explanation is that this is a quid pro quo for a favorable review from the IMF or for some other form of financial assistance. Our economic sovereignty is being compromised for short-term political gains, and the common person will ultimately bear the brunt of this expensive oil. The government, however, has been quick to defend its position. A spokesperson for the Ministry of Energy, speaking at a press briefing, insisted that the move is a strategic decision to enhance energy security and reduce dependence on a single supplier or region. Diversification of our energy portfolio is a cornerstone of our long-term economic strategy, the spokesperson stated. By forging a direct supply line with the United States, we are not only ensuring a stable source of crude oil, but also strengthening our strategic partnership with a key global power. The price differential, while a factor, is a small price to pay for the long-term strategic benefits and stability this relationship provides. This argument, however, has failed to pacify critics who point to Pakistan's recent, highly publicized discussions about importing cheap crude oil from Russia. While the Russian deal was also fraught with challenges, it was widely seen as a potential lifesaver for Pakistan's economy, offering a much-needed reprieve from global market volatility. The perceived abandonment of that cheaper alternative in favor of a more expensive one from the U.S. has fueled accusations of a foreign policy shift driven by external rather than internal priorities. The geopolitical ramifications of this purchase are profound. Saudi Arabia, Pakistan's historical benefactor and a major source of financial aid and oil on deferred payments, is likely to be monitoring this development closely. While the Saudi government has not issued an official statement, the optics of Pakistan, a long-standing ally, turning to Riyadh's geopolitical rival for a strategic commodity could potentially strain a relationship that has been the bedrock of Pakistan's foreign policy for decades. For the United States, the deal represents a quiet but significant victory. Washington has been keen to expand its energy exports and to use them as a tool of foreign policy to counter the influence of both China and Russia. By positioning itself as a strategic energy partner to a country in the heart of South Asia, the U.S. is subtly reshaping regional dynamics and securing a foothold in a market traditionally dominated by Middle Eastern suppliers. The Pakistani populace, already burdened by record-high fuel prices and power outages, views the deal with a mixture of anger and resignation. A recent poll conducted by a local news channel found that over 70% of respondents believe the decision was made under duress, not for the country's benefit. The hashtag expensive oil for slavery has been trending on social media, reflecting the deep sense of betrayal and a growing conviction that the country's leadership is prioritizing the interests of foreign powers over its own citizens. As the first tanker of American crude oil makes its way across the Atlantic, it carries more than just fuel. It carries the weight of a nation's economic woes and the heavy burden of a controversial policy decision. The coming weeks will see the government's rhetoric tested against the stark reality of higher fuel prices and a restless populace. The question on everyone's mind is not just about the price of oil, but the cost of a nation's independence, and whether the strategic benefits promised by the government will ever outweigh the economic and emotional burden felt by the people. This first purchase from the U.S. is not just an energy transaction. It is a moment of profound national introspection, forcing Pakistan to confront the hard truths of its place in the global order.